get ready with us for dinner while we talk about all questions, therapy, mental health. So the first one is, what is the biggest therapy myth that you wish would end?
That we are going to do a deep dive into your childhood, into your trauma, and when you sit with a therapist, it means you're going there.
And
I don't think that that's true. And I think with most therapists, the clients are in charge. We're a guide.
Yeah.
And if people don't want to go to a deep, dark place, especially at the beginning, they don't have to, and they shouldn't.
Yeah. I think mine would be that you need to be either seriously mentally ill, like have a serious mental illness, or in some form of crisis in order to benefit or qualify for therapy.
In order to warrant therapy.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I don't even really work rarely anymore with heavy duty mental health issues. That was more like our training.
Yeah. Or when I worked in the jail, I saw that a lot. But yeah now it's everyday problems. Yeah. It's everyday anxiety. And you don't have to qualify for therapy.
Correct. You can just not be feeling your best.
Right. Or you can be doing well and still benefit from therapy. 100%. Discover things that you didn't know. So
maybe you're not as motivated as you want to be and you're not really sure why.
Exactly.
Or you're feeling stuck. Things like that.
Yeah. This is a good one. What does a good therapy session actually feel like?
I mean, listen, I've been to therapy. You've been in therapy. Yeah. To me, I feel like it's when I've pushed myself. And we know what that means. Maybe it's going to a place that I normally wouldn't want to talk about because we just want to sweep it under the rug. And therapists, we want to do that too. Yeah. Sometimes we don't want to face it. So when I face something and I talk about it, I feel really sort of proud of myself that I went there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think when you're tired after a therapy session, usually that's a good sign because you did some impactful work. You sort of went there.
Yeah. Sort of like going to the gym.
Right. But it's going to be different for everyone. So you might not get a certain feeling after one session, but stick with it because I think, if you give it time, you'll start to get a feeling of when you actually do accomplish something.
Yeah.
It'll just sort of be a feeling. It's not going to look the same for everyone.
Except for I think it's always important to say, when we say stick with it, I think that's a really good thing. But also listen to your gut. If you're not, therapists are just people too.
Sure.
And not all of us are going to appeal to every person. Mm-hmm. And it's okay. Don't feel guilty saying that person was probably really good. I don't know. I just didn't warm up to them, or I just didn't feel like.
It's like dating a little bit. You have to sometimes shop around. You're not just gonna instantly click. I think that's why a lot of people
drop out
is because they don't have good luck with their first therapist, and then they feel like
therapy's not for me.
Exactly. Right. I had some crazy person right, therapists are just people. So you got to stick with it a little bit to find the right person, and usually there's someone out there for everyone.
For sure.
Is there such a thing as being too messed up for therapy to work?
Of course not. Nobody's too messed up. People have problems. Doesn't mean they're messed up. It means life is a bitch.
No,
life is hard.
But sometimes if you're in a severe case of whether it's addiction or say you're in a psychotic break or there's some mental health crisis you're in, maybe traditional outpatient therapy would not be enough at that time. So
okay, but I think you go to a therapist and they can sometimes help you determine that.
Right, but you might,
for you to judge that, am I too fucked up for therapy? I mean, I think if you're unsure, you see a therapist.
Right.
Unless you're thinking of hurting yourself or you're having very, very disconcerting thoughts or things like that, then you can, go to the hospital.
Right. So, there is a case where your problems are too severe for therapy, but that doesn't mean you can't get some other form of treatment. You might just need a higher level of treatment.
Correct. And that might be, you go inpatient for a while, you see a therapist while you're inpatient, and then you transition to your own person.
Something that's more intensive, and then you sort of step down to outpatient therapy.
100%.
Have you ever cried in session as the therapist?
I've gotten tearful, for sure. I mean, we're people.
Yeah, and I think I've gotten tearful. I don't think I've ever cried.
Nope. but tearful for sure. And I've talked about the tearfulness,
Yeah.
and obviously don't want to hide it. We want to, I think we're sort of alluding to transference, countertransference,
Yeah.
things like that, where our clients can trigger us.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing because we're real human beings.
Absolutely.
But
We're
I
not
feel-
immune
I mean,
to it.
I think we care about most of all of our clients, right?
Yeah.
Some we really develop, fond feelings for, and so we have to be careful there and make sure that they're being taken care of first and foremost. But if a client that I am close with has something that went on that caused them pain, yeah, I'm going to get tearful about it.
We're not robots.
No,
and they don't want us to be
Of
robots.
course not. And I think it also shows empathy.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to ask them while they're breaking down, how does that make you feel? I
Right.
see how it fucking makes them feel. It makes them feel
Right.
awful, and I want them to know I'm in the boat with them.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can go to the other side where if a therapist is highly emotional with their clients, right? I think
Then it makes the session becomes about them.
exactly. But
Yes.
if you are just simply sort of responding as a human to your client talking,
Yep.
then
As an empathic
that's
person.
okay. Yeah,
Yep.
as long as you sort of keep yourself in check.
Of course.
Do you think everyone should go to therapy, or is it not for everyone?
That's a great question.
I don't think it's for everyone. I think
Who is it not for?
I think it's not for people who
Know everything.
who think they know everything, who are not going to be receptive to the therapeutic process, which is not everyone.
Yes.
Right? Especially people who say therapy didn't work for me.
Yep.
There's usually a reason, right?
See, I think those are the people that actually need therapy.
Probably, but it won't work for them.
But it won't work for them because they're resistant, because they're not open to it.
Right.
And it's really putting trust in another human being to take you down an emotional path.
Yeah.
Sort of like a guide on a trip. You've never been to Africa and you
Right.
go on some safari. I would be totally a fish out of water. I would want to know that we've got a guide that would have my back and take care of me. And, so I think it's having trust. And maybe those are the people who don't want it, who are the ones that maybe have issues with trust and problems trusting others.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is, of course, why they need therapy.
Right.
But
It's a
here we
little
go.
oxymoronic. Yeah.
It's like, it's a conundrum a little bit.
How long should therapy realistically take?
It's a really great question. It depends on why you're seeking therapy, right?
Yeah. A lot of people ask me this during like a consult, or how many sessions should I expect? I always find that hard to answer. I could give a ballpark and say a certain number, but some people, I have clients who have been in therapy with me for years, you too.
Yes. Yep.
And it's not that they're not making progress.
Correct. They're making tons of progress. It's just then we move on to the next thing.
Right. Or for a lot of my clients, they deal with chronic anxiety disorders. And
that's
unfortunately, they never go away. Right. So it's support. It's ongoing maintenance that's needed.
Yeah. I mean, there are some people that they can afford to have athletic trainers, or they go to a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
Do they stop seeing her because they learn how to do yoga all by themselves and they don't need it anymore? I think people have value.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I very much have a coaching style as a therapist. I think you have a little bit of that sort of coaching style as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think you ever tire or you ever want to stop learning from a coach or a therapist that I don't know. I feel like it's an ongoing process.
Yeah, I think so too. So it's going to look different for everyone.
everybody, yeah.
Some people come for one problem, right? And
or like an adjustment disorder. So say they're having difficulty adjusting to, they've moved with a new job, new,
going to college, like some sort of transition.
Like that. And they just need help with the transition.
Exactly.
Then it can be easier to give a ballpark on how long we think it might take.
Well, this is probably good for you. Should couples in crisis go to therapy together or separately first?
Such a great question. And really, again, it depends. I mean, they're talking about an infidelity thing, which, of course, obviously they need to start rebuilding trust and working with somebody who can help them with some structure about how rebuilding that trust looks like. But a lot of times there's a dual diagnosis. So they're dealing with like an addiction on top of infidelity issues or on top of just marital issues. And then, almost we assemble a team a little bit. I'm part of a team, a lot of people's teams.
Okay, maybe let's do one more.
Okay.
What do therapists actually think when a client cancels last minute?
What, that question is not even, I mean, how would they feel if someone canceled that
Right.
last minute? How does anybody feel?
Doesn't feel good, but things happen, life happens, we understand. But obviously, for a lot of therapists,
We have cancellation policies.
we have cancellation policies. We often work for private practices. We're fee for service, as they call it. So,
Right.
you know, it can be a frustrating thing, but it's part of any sort of business.
Yeah, I think, you know, as people who are self-pay and we don't deal with insurance so
Yeah.
much, it doesn't really impact. And I'm a very transparent person, as you are, I think. And
Upfront.
one of the first things I say is, you know, I have a 2 business day cancellation
Yeah.
policy, and I just want to be so above board. God, of course, if there's a sickness or
Yes,
if there's an
yes.
emergency, we're people.
We're humans, yeah.
But everyone's entitled to make a living.
Right. Okay, maybe let's end on a better one.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Have you ever wanted to fire a client?
I have fired a client, haven't you?
Trying to think. I don't know if I fired. What was your situation?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. It's happened more than once, but you know, if someone just doesn't show up and it's months, and it's,
Okay,
even
right.
if they pay me, you know, it's not about,
Right.
Not everything is about money, right? It's that I've got people, and so do you, waiting
Yeah.
lists of people who would like to work with us, and
Right.
I like what I do, so I really actually don't want to just get paid. I
Right.
want to engage in the process and feel like I'm making a difference with somebody. So, yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, if a client is consistently not showing up, or there's times I've said to a client, hey, I don't think you need to be coming as often, right? And I don't want
Correct.
to just take a
Yes.
client's money just to, I
Of
want
course.
them to show up because they're benefiting. And if I think,
Yeah.
or even we go down to a different cadence. So it's different, but as therapists,
Yeah.
we try to do no harm, right?
Of course, always. I've done that too. I've let people go, and they said, "You're kicking me out."
Right.
No,
No, you're
never.
always welcome,
I just,
right.
you know, I just feel like you
Yeah.
are doing so great. I'm not really sure you need.
Right.
But we can do check-ins. We can do sort of like your car or getting your teeth
Yes,
cleaned. We can do
maintenance.
maintenance.
Yeah.
So yeah, people get attached, and that makes a lot of sense. We spend time together talking about really important
Yeah.
things. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, this was fun. Now
This
I'm
was
ready
fun.
for dinner.
Let us know what other questions you have for us and we can answer in the next video.
Love to.